In this video, we'll be using the sigmazone.com Catapult Simulator to visualize and get data from an experiment on catapults to show Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law of motion says that force equals mass times acceleration. And in this experiment, we're going to be applying more or less force to a lever and seeing how far the projectile, the ball, gets thrown based on the release angle. So what we're doing in this experiment is we are changing the amount of force needed or applied to the catapult lever. And we do that by clicking and dragging and changing the release angle of the catapult. If you don't know how a catapult works, or it's been a while, it's going to release this and stop at this angle. And don't change these at all. Yes, you can get different results with these, but we want the one element that we are changing, our independent variable, is going to be the amount of force, or how far back we pull the lever. And that can be seen in the release angle. So if we pull and do a release angle of like 1 degree, the ball doesn't really go anywhere. So we're going to have to add some more force. And as you add more force, let's just say we pull it back to 130 degrees. Okay? And release it. We can see how far the ball travels. So you would then write down 210, and I believe that they are measuring this in centimeters. So 210 centimeters at a firing degree of 130. So if we add even more force and make it, say, like 145, Newton's law says that we should see the ball accelerate faster and therefore travel farther. Let's see. It works. We're at 290 now. So write down at least 5 different measurements, 5 different release angles, and how far it goes. And using that data, you should be able to see that the more force you apply to something, the greater an object's acceleration is. Now, we are not measuring acceleration necessarily in this experiment, but because the ball, the projectile, is accelerating farther and farther, we're measuring distance and using it to, and we'll save you all the math of calculating any of the projectile arc and things like that. Instead, we're going to see the farther the distance, the more an object has accelerated. So in the end, the more force you apply to something, the farther an object accelerates. Force equals mass times acceleration, and that is Newton's second law of motion.